Hey, Steve, 5x5. Good evening, everyone. This is Rick with Hit and Run Candlesticks. I want to welcome you here tonight on this Sunday, May 31, last day of the month. Can you believe it? It's going to be June already. I truly hope everyone had a wonderful and fantastic weekend. Okay, so let's do this. I see that the futures are down a little bit. Let's wait and see what they are tomorrow. That'll make a deciding factor how we kind of go into trading tomorrow. I've got 13 stocks here. I'd like to get through those right away before I get long-winded, if that's okay with everybody. And what I'd like to do is like I say, I have 13. How about I just take a look at them and let's get those out of the way. Before I do that, I do want to say that all these are bullish trades that I'm looking at going into next week. If the market is not bullish, 85, it's in my opinion anyway, 85% of all stocks follow what the S&P 500 does. So right now, if we take a look at the SPX, you can see that we're clearly in an uptrend here. Bulls are in total control. But at any given time, that could change. I mean, it just doesn't take much. Nor does it take much to turn it around and be bullish again. So if the market turns out that it's not bullish, then what I will end up doing, what I have been doing lately, is I will go short on, say, the SPY or the Qs or the diamonds or IWM. And that's how I will handle a bearish market. Jump right into one of those four that I just mentioned for a possible short. Outside of that, we will look at some longs, and I'll let the live trading alert scanner alert me when those are moving. Now, at the close Friday, about, an hour before the close, I started actually picking stocks for tonight to show for next week, and I pulled them off the scanner there, and I just saved them. So let's take a look at those right now, okay? Let's see here. Gwen, this is a tough day, week. Yes, our nation. Yes, it is. Yes, all that stuff. Yes, I totally agree. Totally agree. Crazy times. Absolutely crazy. A lot of uncertainty, isn't there? I mean, it does make you wonder and shake your head for sure. Okay, let's take a look at these stocks. NTNX is one. Now, this is one I bought Friday going in the close. There's two of them on here that I'll be showing that I'm in. This is the first one right here, NTNX. You can see here we clearly have a trend, nice bullish trend here, and we have a nice little pullback. If a lot of people, if somebody was to ask somebody what would be maybe Rick Sadler's favorite chart pattern of all time, it would be the rounded bottom breakout. No question about that. But the rounded bottom breakout is it's a strategy between two major moving averages. Inside that strategy, you get certain chart patterns. And this is the chart pattern that I think is absolutely the best there is. And it's just simply a rally, a rest, or a pullback, and then let's paint this green, because that's where we look to make our money. So since this is where we're looking, what we're going to do is look at this here as the rally, and here's the pullback. Now, we can go all the way back here, but we'll do the same thing. In every case, you'll see that somebody's gain is going to be one that somebody's watching. So, there are millions of traders out there, and there's a certain percent of them that follows this type of chart pattern, but one person will be making money while another person might be watching it, getting ready to make money. So here we have a nice trending up chart. We're inside this trap, what we call the 3/8 trap, between the T line here and the 3 exponential moving average. And something else I want to look at is I always want to make sure there's money to be made. Can you visually see where the stock could go? And there's some things that are just, we just learn this over time. For instance, we get up into the gap. Well, that becomes an easy little pop to the upside. Now, it doesn't have to just go straight up. It could dance around, little consolidation, but it does make for easy money. So we're not quite there yet. I'm going to put another line right up here. There we go. We're not quite there right there, but I'm certainly going to take this chart as a possible trade, which I did Friday. And you can see it's been doing that. Now, each one of these moves, like this right here, it came down below the T-line. It popped up. Well, here we are in the trap area right here. Here we popped up. We really did not get back into the trap. So if you're following the trap, then this probably would not show up for you. Right here, it did perfect. Here we went down, back up, and here you are in the trap, 3 bars right in this area here. So right now, I'm looking for follow-through. Now, again, I'm already in this, but it doesn't mean that it can't be traded on follow-through, up or even sideways consolidation toward the trend here. And from there, I would be looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of 32%. Now, anyone that knows me, you know that I'm not going to get this 32%. I'm just not going to do it. It's not my style of trading. I would be very happy with this moving up maybe into the 28 area. Now, there's some traders here that, hey, you're going to go for the 31.85 come hell or high water, and that's okay. That's all right. I trade just a little bit different. I trade based on goals, which I don't want to get tangled up in that right now. I want to make sure I get through these charts and answer some questions. Let's see. Let's see. Somebody. ZM. Is it going up? Well, let's look. Well, it looks like it there. We've got a nice trend right here, and I think ZM, if you start to break out there, then I definitely think you've got that. You're going to see some higher numbers. Now, because it's been up 1, 2, 3 plus a gap, 1, 2, 3 plus a gap. I'm not sure I would be running into this so quickly, though. I think what I would want to see happen is break out and then trade it as it consolidates or rests to the right over here in a day or two, or something of that nature in a day or two. Yep, thanks, Steve. Earnings on Wednesday? See, Tuesday? Yeah, so I would look at this being up here before I traded it. Anyway, let's see. We have a mighty 200 SMA just above. Okay. Anytime you post a statement, a question, anything, if it involves a particular stock, please put that stock symbol in there. Otherwise, I can't comment on it. But I'm just guessing you're talking about the NTNX, since that's the only one we've looked at. Well, let's go take a look at that. And I like the way you put that. We have the mighty in capital letters. Well, that's easy to take care of. There you go. There, it's no longer there now. So it's not so mighty easy, is it? If you're concerned about the 200, then don't trade this particular stock. Thousands and thousands and thousands of traders out there. There's going to be traders that totally freak out when we get near the 200-day simple moving average, and then there's going to be traders that don't care and they simply watch price and the trend. I'm a price trend type person. I do recognize that and I do pay attention to that, but it doesn't frighten me away. So like I say, some traders, you don't want to trade this because of that 200. You must follow your rules. That's very, very important. Let's see, the Robo Shrine. I'm probably destroyed that. My apologies there. Why is the RBB? Ask me that later tonight, okay, if you would. I want to try to get through these stocks. Berry 15, yeah, okay. And let's look at another one here. Snap. So Snap, whoops, there we go. Snap is another one that I'm holding. I bought Snap Thursday. Yeah, Thursday on this big candle right in here. And Snap is moving up. Snap is coming up to resistance. So if that is concerning, then don't trade it. But one thing I want you to keep in mind is I think anybody puts out a stock on Sunday night, I don't think that they are blowing their trumpet saying that Monday it's going to take off. And I think all traders that are successful realize that stocks just don't pop up because somebody talks about it, okay? So Snap looks bullish to me. Does it mean it's bullish? Buy it tomorrow, make money tomorrow? Not necessarily. What looks bullish on Snap, again, I'm already in it, but once Snap breaks out, we're going to look for a rest here, and then Snap looks like it's going higher. That's a strong chart. Who's to say that's not going to stop? I don't see that as stopping just yet. It'll stop when price stops, not when we think it stops. It stops when price stops. So, again, if you're concerned about that line, then don't trade it. It could just start moving toward our trend line here. That might be a more appetizing buy for some folks. But even then, I think a breakout and a pullback is what we want to be looking for on a trade for this one right in here. VZ, this is another one. Not another one to be traded tomorrow. I truly do not think so. But it is one to be put on a watch list and let that thing pull back. Right in here would be wonderful. But if it doesn't make it back that far, that's okay. What we're looking for is a trend like this, and there we went up. And then we're looking for a pullback. We're looking for a pullback. Here it is here. And then we're looking for buyers to step in. Pretty simple. Pretty doggone simple. And then we want to be entering either on the buyer consolidation or right at the breakout or right after the breakout, as it starts breaking out. And that way, what we're looking for is that rally, that pullback, and then that rally to continue up. And right now, I would look at 58.80 as possibly the first target after a rest, which may take a day or two. Once we break out here, then I see us moving up to about the $60, 80-cent area right up in here. Let's see here. Fast. I'm going to get through these, and then if you guys would, then I'll take a look at your stocks. No sense in posting them in here right now unless, because I can't go back, so if we could just wait. If you do have questions about these stocks, please ask. Please ask. Make sure you put the stock symbol in your question so I know which one you're looking at. But I would love to answer any questions that anyone might have about these stocks. So here's Fast. Fast has been on a nice trend up. And I think we can come down here and say, well, Fast came right up to the breakout line. And then, I'm going to get rid of this line right here. This is making me see dizzy. Okay, so Fast came right up to the breakout line, and it just sort of went sideways. That's all it did. This just jumbled little sideways mess. And then all of a sudden, it broke out right there. So this is the type of chart when we say, wait for that breakout, and here it has broken out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a little box over here just like that. And then what we want to see is that rest to come in there, consolidation, because that's what all charts do. All charts rest. It's like clockwork, guaranteed. So once we start seeing that, and then we start seeing those buyers step in again, and now we can take that next run to the upside. Well, let's see. Tommy, would be nice to close up to the 17. Fast would be nice to close up to the 17 EMA. I'm not sure what you mean. Maybe you meant to say down. Maybe that's what you meant to say. Down. This is my 17 EMA right there. So I think you must have meant down, maybe. Can't close up to it. So again, Don, if we could wait to the end there, which I think I'm going to cover MG in a minute anyway. Okay. How about J&J? So J&J, if you take the bigger picture, take a bigger picture here, you can see we've popped up, and let's do this. Right there, we have that we popped up over the resistance over here, and then we pulled back. Well, on that pullback, that could be just a simple little up and a pullback, and you can see that I have these two little blue lines drawn in here. So now, if we start to see J&J break out, and again, it doesn't have to be tomorrow, and then we're going to watch it rest, because that's what stocks do almost every single time after a breakout. They rest. Maybe not the very next day, but then they rest. And then we're going to look for the buyers in here, and that might be a good time to start buying this. Keep in mind that, there we go, put that up there, that here we've got a test, and we actually, I would call this another test. So it's challenge, challenge, and now we have a double bottom in here, a little hammer gap up. So maybe we're headed for another challenge, and just maybe that third time will be a charm to get through this area here. I'm not ignoring anybody up there on ticker symbols. I just want to get through these 13 first, and then we'll take a look at those. URI. This is another one that is trending up. And here we are inside that trap area right here. Here's a nice little, well, let's just start it right here. Here's a nice little breakout. And you can see there we've broken out. And then we consolidated. And now up. And now we're moving back. And the buyers are starting to thinking about stepping in. So what we want to do is watch for those buyers. And if we can see buying, which what I like to see is over tomorrow's Monday. So over Friday's low, that sets the buyers up, I think, in a good place. When we start to see buyers come across the body, that is a good time to maybe be thinking about that buying. Now here's another thing I do, and I use the T-line an awful lot. So another thing I might do is put a little line right up there and just follow that T-line up. And that helps me to keep it, above T-line support, I guess. Above T-line support is what it helps me to do that. So now, once we start moving up, now I think we might challenge 157.80 up here. Thank you, Steve, very much. IDXX. I know one of the members of Hit and Run Candlesticks bought this either Friday or Thursday. I can't remember. I actually think it was Thursday. Well, you know what? Come to think about it, maybe it was Wednesday, because I remember this candle. So nice little wedge here. Here we have a nice little trend, and look, all this wedge is just sideways. Is all it is. Just nice little sideways move. And we have this not quite a bullish engulf, not quite at all, but it certainly did open, and it closed above the previous candle decisively. And then we had follow through, and now Friday looks more like a inside day, a rest day. So this is where we might look at that buying box over here, and here's our rally up. Look for that buying box, and then we'll see if this can't move up a little bit higher here. I'm going to go to a weekly chart, and if you take a look at the weekly chart, you can see we've broken out. So nice move there on IDXX. One of the things I get asked often, and I think I was asked this twice last week, stocks like this, it's moved up, and people will ask, well, it's gone too far. And I hear what you're saying too. I truly do. But let's stop and think about what we want out of trading. And everyone's answer might be a little bit different. If you're here, then I'm going to classify you as a short-term swing trader. If you're here, because that's what we do. So when you're thinking about short-term swing trading, if this just went up that much from here to this line, let's do this. Let's put a line there. So if it went, if we bought inside that circle right there, and it went up to here, well, actually, I think that is a whole lot of money, and just about everybody here and the other 9 million traders out there would be ecstatic, would be absolutely tickle pink. If you had a feather, that whole thing, I think you'd be extremely happy. So when you see this and you think of that, well, geez, how much further can it go? I'll bet you $50 that you might also be that person that has said that exact same thing right here, or maybe said that exact same thing right here, and look at it. And if you go look at good trending charts, they can go for the longest time. They can just go and go and go. Remember that we're not trading how long they can go. We're trading movements from support to profit is what we're doing. We're trading movements from support to profit. That's it. So how far can it go? Can it go? A long time. It can go up much further. But really all we need it to go is one nice little leap upwards, and we would be tickle pink. We'd be happy. Okay, so if somebody's brave, sorry, I had to get a drink. Or maybe you don't have to be brave. If you trade the charts and you just simply put the news, if you turn the news off, and if you just simply traded the charts on any other given time, you would look at this and say, man, that's an awfully nice chart. Oh, but wait, they were hit. This industry was hit awfully hard here recently, and you might say, well, I just don't believe it can go any higher. Well, I would argue that we've been hearing that news way over here. And look where the chart is. It's going up. We've been hearing that news even here and here and here and here. Remember, we're trading the chart. We're not trading what our heart says. We're not trading what the news says. We're trading the chart. And remember, again, what we're looking for. Simply looking for, I'm going to come up here and let's do this right there. Let's put a little box right in there. Yeah, we'll do it right there. So, somewhere in the neighborhood of 50-80, if it was bought, we got up in the middle of that box area, that's 45%. Now that's just a nice little swing. That's what swing traders do right there. From this point up, and once it gets up here, if the sellers want to step into this thing and knock it down, knock yourself dead. Knock yourself dead. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the charts and trade what charts are telling us. That's it, just like that. And I'm just, I can't predict this is what's going to happen. I just simply see a chart that has pretty close to a double bottom, certainly a low, high, higher low. And then from there, we've pretty much got a trend up, making higher highs and higher lows. It's just a chart. Now, I get it. There's going to be some traders say, I won't touch this with a 10-foot pole. That's okay. Don't break your rules. Trade your rules. Very important. So I look at this, I'm thinking, yeah, I've heard the news, but I'm going to trade just the chart. Just the chart. I'm going to stick with my swing trading rules, which means that if I do place an entry on this and it moves up, I make my money, I'm walking away. I have no ideas or no dreams. I don't even have hopes that it's going to be up here at 145. I can't think that far down the road. I really can't. I don't even know what I'm going to have for dinner tomorrow night, much less think about what this is going to, getting up here to 145. This is for some long-term investors. And again, if you're here, you're a short-term swing trader. And we're just looking for the swings following our simple swing trade rules. LYV, here's another one that is pushing up. And this one here, I want to come over here and draw a line at those two tops. And then I want to come down here and draw a line. And I'm going to go to about here. I'm going to basically focus on these two lows. We're going to get some of this over here, but we're not going to go down to that low. So what I see here is a channel. Just a nice little, kind of got a little wacky there, little channel. And resistance, 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 resistance. Breakout. And now we're pulling back. So this is, I probably should have used a different color there. Breakout, pulling back. And now what we want to do is see those buyers. They may have started stepping in Friday, maybe. I think what I would rather see is some confirmation. We have a bearish engulf over here, so I think I would like to see confirmation over Friday's candle. Over Friday's candle, I see a nice little move maybe up to about right here. See where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches right there? About $60.60. So if you had an entry somewhere around 51 and a quarter, that puts you in the 20% range. Again, I'm willing to bet that everybody here would be tickle pink at a 20% stock trade, or more if you're trading an option trade. MGM. Here's MGM. Again, this is part of that. Well, somebody doesn't, some traders aren't going to want to trade MGM. But let's just follow the chart. Let's just stick with that follow the chart thing. So here we're low, high, higher, low, higher, high. We actually made a lower low, and then we recovered up to a higher high, and now it looks like we're making a higher low. What I want to see is follow through. So follow through off of Friday's candle. Pull up here. So above about $17.30. Now, there's also traders out there that are going to say, all right, my rule says that I only want to trade the breakout. Okay, not a problem. Not a problem at all. Just draw your line right there. And when you see that consolidation, you can be a buyer up there. Some traders are going to buy it up here, and some traders are going to buy it down here. The traders that buy it up here will never see the light of the day unless the buyers here do their job. If the buyers here do their job, then they will get there. Otherwise, these folks up here won't see a nickel. Trader's choice. You can either be a buyer, say, above that 1730 mark, or you can be a buyer here, above 1870. Depends what type of trader you are. Are you a breakout trader? If so, then that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm buying the breakout right there and the pullback. So we've broken out and now we've pulled back. But there's no harm in waiting for the next breakout and then the next pullback. Oh, let's see. CCL. So let's get back on those cruise lines again. And again, I see this trend. Okay, so here's Carnival, and Carnival was up here, okay? So it's down here at $15 now. I know that we don't trade long term, but the fact of it is you've got to know that there are long-term traders that's buying Carnival at 15, because when everything gets all good, I guess, when the coronavirus is set aside, when it's under control, all that good stuff, there is no reason to think that it's not going to be a $50 stock. So you've got all these long-term buyers in here loading up on it. Now, that's not to say that it can't pull back even more. It can. It can pull back. It can test these lows. It doesn't change the fact that there's buyers buying it and it's moving the stock up. All we're looking for is that next move. Keep in mind that it's not about tomorrow. It's about waiting for that price to set up for you. It's doing everything else. It's trending up. We've rallied up. We've broken out, and now we're pulling back. We didn't. Well, we did close up there. So we did break out. So now we're pulling back here. We're just looking for that next move up. And outside of this, we'll put a line right there. But I think where I would really be wanting to trade this, or trade it to, is about 2170. That puts us up into here. And then, of course, if that actually works out, boom, then we'll go here. So, and I'm thinking in a couple of days is what I'm thinking here. In a couple of days, let this settle down. So maybe we get an entry over here, something like this. And now we're looking at 30% up here to that very first line after that $18 breakout. So, again, I'm just looking at the chart. I'm not going to look at or listen to the news. I'm not going to pay attention to that. I'm going to follow the buyers and the sellers and the chart. That's what works, and that's what helps us make money. BA. Look at BA. And I'm not a Boeing trader. I think everybody, any members here, you know that I'm not a Boeing trader. A lot of drama in Boeing. But maybe that's all behind it now. Maybe it's starting to move up. And I like the way it bottomed out, rallied up, has pulled back, and then broke out again. And now we're trending up here. I'm going to go with support. Anything above 143.45 would be a buy. Those that want to wait for a breakout, you can wait for that breakout right up in here. I'm going to go to 224.25 for a target. So which means this will be the area that I would look to trade, and I would probably take profit in that area somewhere. I've got one more to do, and then let's look at yours and some questions. So here's United Airlines. I had two cruise lines, so maybe we better put a airline on here. Carnival Cruise is sitting here with a double bottom, hammer, doji, breakout. We've rallied up, and now we've pulled back here. If we start to see this pop up a little bit, and you don't, here, let's do this first. Let's look at profits first. So I'm thinking maybe for my little trading world, somewhere around 47.25, give or take. So if that's the target there, would it matter if I bought it right here or right here? Does it matter? I want to buy it when the chart is set up for me. Actually, I should have put this over here and put this over there. I want to buy it when the chart is best set up for me. There's plenty money to be made in this. And that last arrow, that's 48%. I seriously just, and you know, does anyone not think that's enough money to make? And I, remember, if you type no, that's not enough, you're just showing how ridiculous you are. So don't type it, okay? Really, there's 228 people in here, and I'm betting all 228 would kill to have a 41% stock trade here. So anyway, that's what I would be looking at. And keep in mind, you don't have to buy it right away. You don't have to buy it Monday. You don't have to buy it Wednesday. I would keep an eye on this, make sure it sets up the way you want it to set up, and then trade it into some profit areas. Okay, that's all the stocks I have. If anyone has any questions or anything on those or any others, let's see what we can do. I just wanted to get through those first. I have a habit of starting this out and then somehow I never finish it. So tonight I thought, well, I'm going to try to do that. So I'm going to start with Rickster. Yeah. Do you get these stocks from LTA scanner using the RBB only parameter? If so, where the alerts, or what part of the larger list you might have gone through trying to better handle on LTA? Yes, I got these from LTA on Friday, about an hour before the close. I started because I knew I was on deck tonight, so I started looking at stocks about an hour before the close for tonight. So yes, I did get them from LTA. Now, your question here, using the RBB scan. I use the RBB scan. I use the trap scan, and I use the inside day. Those are probably my favorites. And I don't have the scanner up right now. But if you have the scanner up, go to your main application, and you'll see sort of at the top left, you'll see a drop-down box. I forget the wording of it now. Oh, doggone it! I can't remember the wording. Stocks that are scans that are our favorites, something like that. That favorites is not in there, but anyway, you'll see. I think I've got 5 in there, and they're numbered 1 through 5. So if you wanted to download those, you can just click on that and download it. If not, I can certainly help you sometime next week. I would offer to help you tomorrow, but I actually will not be here tomorrow. But I will be here Tuesday. And I am doing a class for scanner users Tuesday, at 10:45 Eastern on my favorite scans. So we can work together then if you'd like. Let's see. Lauren, good afternoon. How are you? PAA. Nice chart. And I say nice chart. Lauren's a member. And I say a nice chart because I think, we all gravitate to a couple different, maybe 3, maybe 4 different type chart patterns. And man, it just doesn't take a second to see this, and it looks absolutely wonderful. So here we have a trending chart, and I think this is just right on. Look how this rallied, and then a slight little pullback right to the T line. It's above the 17 right in here. Nice little doji. Man, this starts putting some numbers in over Friday's candle. That looks like a very clear buy to me. And we would have a chart that looks like this. Up, back, up. Well, probably should make this green, shouldn't we? There we go. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we had our breakout right there. Nice. I drew that line, and when I was talking about this, I didn't notice this gap over here. When I drew that line, then I looked at everything. Look at that nice gap up there. So I would make that my target area. So with an entry of, 985-ish, what are we looking at? 20%? Nice chart, Lauren. Earnings in August, plenty time. Nice chart. Thank you. And stop, by the way, the stop, end of the day is where I usually use an end of the day type thing. So I'm going to look at my chart. If it just, bounces around intraday, I'm not too worried. If it closes below Friday's low, I would not want to be in it. Let's see here. Q. That's a Q. C, Q. C and Q. There we are. Consolidating nicely at support with a gap to fill above. Yes, indeed. So here we are here. I'm going to actually drop this down to here. I like that a lot. There's another top-notch looking chart. Thank you, Alan. So here we are. Here's our rally. There's our rally. And here's that's a nice tight pullback, extended. I like that one a lot. 3 little dojis right here. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. Even with this, what I would look at, whoops, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. So we're going to drop that down like this. I would have no problem buying inside this area here. And the reason is my risk is relatively small, under 5% risk. Now, for some, maybe that's too much. Then don't buy it, or adjust your stop to where you want your stop. But this chart here, I would have no problem buying inside this wedge, looking or waiting for that breakout. For those that want to wait for the breakout, pretty simple. Let it break out. You can buy the breakout here. What I like to typically do, doesn't mean it's right, is wait for that consolidation, at least for an inside day, maybe the next day over here. Let's see. RVLV. There we go. RVLV trending up. We're trending up a little bit here. We have some bears floating around here. It just seems like a lot of bears. So we've got the chart pattern, we've got the trend, we've got everything. I think maybe the thing, for me anyhow, would be wait for that breakout and then trade above that downtrend line. Bulls, show me you've got what it takes to actually break out here. I love the chart. Nice trend, breakout here. It's doing wonderful. Looks great. I just, with all the sellers in here. Seems like there's a lot of selling candles. Maybe just a little breakout, make us feel better. I think that would be something I'd look at. As far as a target goes, let's get right up into here. So if we waited for the breakout, what are we looking at? 22%. If you didn't wait for the breakout and you bought down in here, you're looking at 31%. So what, 8-9%? Is that, if that makes the difference, you certainly go for it. As far as a stop goes, I think the stop, Friday's low, or maybe down here around 13, 18 is what I'd look at. What do these guys do? Revlon, okay. Rob, I have no idea what that would have been. Yeah, I don't know. Netflix to the upside. You see this green dots here, and you see the red dots, green dots, red dots. This is just a 17 exponential moving average. That's all it is. But it's a moving average that I have chosen as a rule, I guess. So my rule is I can't be long on anything below those red dots. I just can't be, because that actually is telling me we have a downtrend. Now I'm basing it's a rule that I've created for myself. You see where the T line is? The T line's below those red dots. Price is below those red dots. Price is below the T line. So I ask myself, well, what is price doing in relationship to the black line, the 8 exponential? And what is the black line doing in relationship to the dots? So I look at this and I see a downtrend is what I see. I want to come over here and let's look at this chart right there. You can see right there that you've got that pink line is the 3 exponential moving average, and it's leading the T line down, and the T line is leading the 17 down. So I kind of can't be long on this until that changes. So for example, you see how this is red here. See how we're red right here. See how we broke out and pulled back. We broke out above the red, turned to green. Now I can look to be a trader here, now that we have turned green. So I think what I would want to see is a breakout, and then I'd want to see some consolidation to the long side. I think we ought to take in consideration the possibilities on Netflix. Possible shoulder, head, possible shoulder. So again, I'm not too keen on buying right here. I want it to break out, test, and then show me you got the muscles to get up there. Outside of that, let's just come over here and go this way. Let's just look at just raw price. So if you wanted to be long Netflix, well, we couldn't get through. So above 42, 422, 65-ish, maybe that's a trade for you there. But it would definitely have to get up there. And that might even turn those red dots green, actually. Nah. You might get a green dot down there, but I think you're going to need to see a couple of them. Thanks, John. I know. I have a horrible habit of not finishing them, so tonight I was determined to do that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Cal. This is what I will do from now on. I get long-winded and talk about stuff that probably shouldn't. Hello, Gwen. OC. Nice. I love this. I love charts. Has Please don't anyone answer. Okay, I don't want everybody answering. So, with nobody answering, has anyone ever, instead of looking at what's hot tomorrow or hot next week, has anyone, again, don't answer. There'll be too much chatter down there. Have you ever just said, you know what? I'm not going to trade squat tomorrow. I'm going to manage what I'm in, and what I'm going to do tonight is just do a little chart education. Well, rather than look at tonight at what we're doing here, go back and look at charts that make this chart pattern. Look at charts that started down here on the left, and they're now up here like this. Find them that's a trend, and there's going to be some bad days in the trend. There's no doubt there is. But if you were to look at that chart, you will see this chart pattern hands down. You'll see it. So all you've got to do is educate yourself, train yourself to see these areas right there. That's all you got to do. That's it. And that's what we've got going on right here. We've got a nice rally up, and we've started a pullback. Now, I can't say whether this is going to run up tomorrow or is it going to consolidate some more. With the futures being down a little bit, we might see a little pullback in stocks like this. It's run up quite a bit. Let's do this. Nice little breakout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I count gaps as a day. So that's 6 days up. It might need a little bit of a rest. But what a beauty of a stock going forward. Maybe not so much Monday. Maybe not so much Tuesday. Maybe not so much Wednesday. I can't predict what's going to happen next couple of days. But boy, nice run up like that. Bring that down. Come into my little world, Gwen's world, where Gwen might want to buy. Man, nice chart. And then, let's see, what are you saying there, Gwen? 61? 61, let's go right, 61, close enough. Yeah. I'm going to have to put a little, I'm going to have to put a little line right here too. I'm going to have to do that. And then definitely up here on your what was it, 68, up here at these highs. So nice little pullback. I would be a little surprised actually if this took off and went north tomorrow. As soon as I say that, it will. But boy, if you could get an entry somewhere in the neighborhood of 50-50, give or take, just to that first line up there's 14, almost 15%. Now you're looking at 21, and now you're looking at 32. Nice chart. Thank you. OSW, and let me grab another drink here. All right, OSW. Nice trend. Beautiful trend here. I can't help noticing that breakout right there. I like that, yeah. So, pop up, breakout, test, 2 thumbs up. I love it. Now, can we make any money here? Oh, absolutely, I think. I would have to look at somewhere in this area here. So let's see. And, around $7 entry, give or take. 49%. Holy moly. That's sweet. That's a nice chart. That's a real nice chart. Thank you. TD, Rob. Thank you. Arnaldo. How you doing, Arnaldo? Oh, thank you. LYV. That was the one in between. All right. Hi, Jason. Huge thank you for sticking to your agenda like that. Thank you. Love having no distractions. Yeah, I do get distracted. I admit I do. So thank you very much. Ed, Rickster. Ed answered your question here. Pre-configured alerts. I couldn't think of the name, but if you go to the LTA scanner and bring up the main menu, click on that drop-down box on the pre-configured alerts. You'll see 1 through 5. Those are my favorites, and there's others in there, but those are the ones that I pay attention to. And my top favorites are going to be the 3/8 trap, the rounded bottom breakout, and the inside day, which, well, you'll see. If you go inside there, you can see it automatically comes up for you, everything that's in there. I may have the trend already built on it. I can't remember exactly what's inside those, what makes them up, what's the ingredients. But I'm pretty sure there has to be a trend. The trap comes into play somewhere. And then, of course, the inside day. I like that. So, but anyway, I'll be glad to help you with those. Thanks, Barry. FFIV. There we go. I'm gonna have to think to myself that here we've rallied up. We've got a failed high, and so far a failed high. So we're gonna have to put that downtrend on there like that. Now, look how green our uptrend is. And I mean, it's nice. It really is. Looking good. So if we were just to start boxing in, forming up that chart, the way I just did it there, it just absolutely stands to reason that we might want to wait for that breakout. And then what we might want is to see a little consolidation above that chart pattern. And this is the type of chart pattern that if it breaks out, there is no guarantee that it breaks out. If it breaks out, then this leads to that next good run. And if you ever look at some good runs and go back and analyze the chart, you'll see that it came from a well-organized chart pattern, and during the run, you'll see many well-organized chart patterns that continue to take it up. So nice chart, but I think, and especially since these are, some pretty dark candles, we've got a clear downtrend going on. I think maybe a breakout might be what we need to see here. BLDR. Hey, would somebody draw me a line down there, pretty please? Thank you. BLDR, nice trend up. We've got a bearish engulf that sent us down lower. The bulls may have stepped right in. That would be support, or maybe even down here. I'm personally probably more this guy down here. This is another one where I seriously doubt tomorrow, unless we wake up tomorrow and the futures are just goofy high. But outside of that, I seriously doubt stocks like this are going to be up tomorrow. Man, we've got a bearish engulf here, so it needs to swallow that. I think the trend is still there. I think bulls are still in control because the trend hasn't broken. Simple as that. But if you just look at that trend, and I'm just using that 17, look how much we can, what possibly 1, 2, maybe 3 days. So 3 days, give or take, maybe it's only 2, but 3, could be even 5 days. Come down here and square yourself away. The chart squares itself away, and then it starts up. When you see big candles like this, rally up, bearish engulf, you've got to let the buyers here have to swallow this. And I'm just not sure one candle is going to be the big turnaround, especially with the futures down. Jets. If somebody doesn't want to pick an airline and you just want to pick the whole airline family, you might want to look at jets. And here we are up. Let's put this line in here. Kind of. Let's see what this looks like. Let's just draw a line from here to here and let it go where it wants. There we go. So here's jets. We've rallied up. We've pulled back. A little bit of indecision. A little doji here. Spinning top type doji. Are we going to see buyers tomorrow? Again, I can't predict that. But right now, I would probably look at buying over that line right in here. Now, if we see another couple of days down, then we might adjust that line a little differently. For instance, if we get down to 14 and then the buyers start stepping in, I would have no problem buying that down into here, closer to that 14 line, and that would be closer to some pretty good support. Does LTL only work when the markets are open? No, they work, well, it's kind of a tricky question, Rob. Do you get scans through the windows? No. Can you click inside the windows and see a list of stocks that are qualifying? Yes. So I hope that helped right there. BLDR, we just looked at that. ABT. We broke out good. For breakouts, by the way, I don't believe that let me draw this. I'm gonna put a make believe. Well, make believe. So let's say this line is the breakout. Okay. I don't feel that we broke out. See how we have a little wick up there? Wicks are not breakouts to me. Bodies are breakout. Close above that line. So I'm going to put this, there we go, right there. And we did break out. So that's great. Now, after 3 days up, I'm not interested in buying. I don't care what it does. I don't care what news comes on it. I'm not interested in buying in 3 days up. I want a rest. The rest could be simply an inside day. That's a rest day. If it rests down to a low and then starts back up, I'm good with that. But after 3 days up, I'm going to need to see that inside day, a little bit of a rest period. It might only be a little bit, and then start breaking out, and then I would look at that as a buy. Because we broke out, I would definitely put this on the bullish side of things. Very nice chart. Very, very nice chart there on ABT. Thanks, Rick. About PAA, those are the numbers I plan with. Cool. Thanks, Lauren. SPY. SPY is trending up. Yeah, SPY is trending up. Again, let's look at this chart right here. You can see that trend. We can certainly have pullbacks, but yet still hold the trend. If you look, there's the trend, and here's a pullback. Here's the trend, and here's a pullback. We can have pullbacks within the trend, minor pullbacks within the bigger trend. So, with that said, we could certainly see a little bit of a pullback here, but overall, at the close of Friday, the bulls are still in charge. This top over here around 312.80ish maybe. That's what I had as sort of a target up here. That's why that line was there. So anyway, we could, what are we going to do tomorrow? I'll tell you tomorrow. I couldn't begin to tell you tonight what tomorrow's going to do. IWM, same scenario. Here we've got a pullback. We've got the bulls are in charge. We have a bearish engulf that said we're going to see a lower low. We saw a lower low. Are the buyers stepping in? Let's see. We could see a little more rest, a little more consolidation, a little bit more of a pullback here. I'm actually going to move that down. little more pullback before the buyers start really coming in. And what I would do is watch what the futures are doing in the morning. That'll give you a little indication, at least what the morning is going to look like. Let's see here. Peoples. Thank you. I just saw my lines. Thank you. CCJ. Oh, that's a pretty chart. I'm angry that I have not seen that. Nice. Judy, way to go. Nice chart. Nice pop up. There's our inside day. There's our follow through. That's nice. Let's see here. We're going to put a little top right in there. I'm going to look at a weekly chart. Weekly chart. Let's come over here and, we'll go right in there. There we go. So I would have no problem trading this. And it doesn't bother me that $11 is a top right here. Down, we've got a nice little cradle pattern. This is a cradle pattern right here. Right there. That's a cradle pattern right there. Down and up. That's pretty bullish. We just need to chew through that 11, and then I would watch for that $12 mark up there. Thanks, Judy. AGO. Hello, Phil. AGO. Long. Not until it changes its attitude. Not until that attitude is changed. I'm going to grab this candle, then grab these, and then I'm going to let it go where it wants to go. Right there. So I just couldn't be long AGO till we got back over that trend. Just one of those rule things, you know. So yeah, I would think over this downtrend line, and then it would be that same old chart pattern, up, rest, and then let's make some money. But first, let's break over that chart pattern right there. There's nothing about Friday's close that suggests the bulls are coming back in. There's nothing at all that suggests that. PANW. There we go. Good. I'm going to write that one down. PANW. Thank you. PANW, nice trend up. Here's a little pullback. Couple little dojis, hammer doji, little bullish candle. Man, we start to see follow through. I think that's good bullish. We are close to that top, so that is something to think about. We have a top here, and we're close enough. So that's something to think about. You know, and this is what you've got to decide. Is there easier money? There's nothing wrong with this. It looks bullish. It's going to come up here, and I would take the bet every stinking time that it's going to consolidate somewhere, either just above or just below this line right here. So is this the bet you want to take, or are there other charts out there that maybe a little easier money from here to here? Outside of that, what are we looking at? 5% before we get up into that. No, here we could actually raise that up, couldn't we? There we go. A little bit more, 7%. So I think the question you've got to ask yourself is that the trade you want right there? And I'm cool with that. I truly, truly am. Or is there another chart out there that might be easier money? Now, I like this chart. So. And since I would trade an option on it, 7% here is 25% on an option. So, yeah. Let's see. Rick, why is RBB your favorite? Why is it my favorite? Let me see here. Do I even have... Well, let's do this. And there we go. NTNX. So an RBB is simply the... You're using two major moving averages from the 50 to the 20. And I do believe that stocks move from moving averages to moving averages to moving averages. stocks like to go back to those. Again, though, remember it's price that gets you there. So I'm just looking for those two major moving averages, a bottom to be put in, and then this area here is my trading area. But in here, I still look for those same old chart patterns. Why is it my favorite? Because it is, because it works. And I just explained it right there. How do you get percent on the side of your chart? Percent on the side of my chart. Percent. I think if you come down here, if you're using TC2000, you can come down here and there we go. Click the ruler, and there's your percent right there. Is that what you're speaking of? I think. So there's a little arrow. It's kind of hard to see. Very, very light gray. Click on that arrow. If that's what you're speaking of on the side over there. T long. Whoops. There we go. This is an RBB setup. So here we've broken out of the 50-day simple. We're pulling back. I like it long. I don't think so much tomorrow. I think that bearish engulf after quite a few days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days for the most part being up. I think old AT&T needs a rest. Do I think it's bullish? Yeah, I do. I like that chart. I just don't think it's so hot tomorrow. I just don't see it. I could be completely wrong about this, but unless the futures change, I'm afraid we're not going to see a lot of popping tomorrow. We're going to need to see the futures change a little bit, which they could. They could change overnight like crazy. So, in either way, when you have a big bearish engulf like this, it takes a little bit to turn it. So it's going to take a little turn, a couple of candles in here, buyers to start turning this around before it starts moving up. So I am bullish AT&T. I like it. Just maybe not so much tomorrow. Let's see. MMC. Nice consolidation. I'm going to go back over here. Nice consolidation so far. I think we should maybe draw a little line here and maybe draw a little line there. So you've got two choices. Two. You can certainly be a buyer inside that wedge, or you can wait for it to break out and be a buyer here. I think the answer is relatively clear. I would wait for the breakout and buy a little up here. Now, I think the big question, and I think this is true with all charts, is can it make you some money? That's what you've got to look at. And I'm going to go right in about this area here. And I'm looking at these candles, trying to find a happy medium. And I think 112.30. So if you got a 108 entry, is 4% worth your trade? Is that worth your trade? Now, if you think it's going to go up here, that's almost 11%. Maybe that's worth your trade. So we can find charts that look good. And I like this. I like the way it looks. But you've got to ask yourself, can you make money in the chart? So, and only you can answer that. I can't answer that for you. Ping. Ping. It's one of these charts I doubt I would ever trade. I just don't. I just don't see it as a trade personally. This thing. But with that said, let's see if we can make this look better. Still can't make it look better. I'm going to go simple here. on a breakout. How's that? I'm going to go on a breakout. Ping Long, login identity security in cloud like a code OKTA. Okay, I'll say okay, but I think we need to break out and get above all this trash right in here. Let's see. Thank you. F as a short. Well, unless you've got some information, inside information, Dave, I don't see a short right now. Like I say, unless you've got some inside information, I see a chart that's got a low, high, double bottom here, and then we've popped up, and let's go to a naked chart. There we go. So low to a high, double bottom, or higher low. And here we've broken out or popped up like this. And I think if we were to take this line and go across, well, we've broken out here. And this right through here, this looks like a nice little channel to me. Lower channel line right through here. So here we've broken out. Are we going to come all the way back to that, that downtrend line, that supporting downtrend line? We could. We absolutely could. And if that's what you mean for a short, well, okay, maybe. That absolutely maybe might come back down into here. But I look at this chart and I think, look at that. So here, let's take price out of the picture and look at those. And here, don't worry about this one. Let's get this one out of there. There you go. I just can't hardly be short when that looks like that. I know it's broken over, it's been over, but that's just a pullback in a bullish trend right now. So I'm thinking, unless you know something, from a chart perspective, I don't see a short. I just don't see a short right now from the chart. Let's see. BMY. Long if it breaks above the T line. Boy. If it seems to me that if you have a lot of dirt to move, it might be better to go rent a dirt mover, a backhoe, a tractor, something. And this might be one of those cases. Let's. I love the T line. I truly, truly do. But I look at this price action here, and I'm seeing resistance, a breakout, failed. Boy, I'm seeing that BMY needs to be above 5260 before I can look at it with any kind of a bullish glimmer. So it can be above the T line. That's all fine and dandy. But boy, I think above 6250 up here is what I would be looking at. Like I said, if you're going to move some dirt, man, get a dirt mover. Don't try to do it with a shovel. This looks like a lot of work to me. Yeah, over 6260 maybe. QRVO long. Long in it to win it. Okay. 115. I found the pre-configured area. Cool, Rickster. Very cool. If you look at this, I like this sideways consolidation. All these bars right here, to me, that's just sideways noise consolidation. If you bought it yesterday or Friday, it certainly makes sense. Big volume, big old bullish Hiromi, inside day. It makes all the sense in the world. If you're looking at, tomorrow, well, I could actually see another inside day or a breakout. Actually, over 101.75. How's that? 101.50. There we go. 101.50. As long as it closes bullish in here, I would be all for that. Otherwise, wait for that 104.95. Overall, nice chart. Little choppy for my personal taste, but nice chart. There we go. A nice little cup and handle there. Yes, sir. FEYE long. FEY, yeah. I'm actually long FEYE. Held it over the weekend. So I'm going to say yes. Over 12.50. If it did put in an inside day, I could make an argument of buying it. I might make an argument of adding more to it. I was in a lot more, and then I sold it, but I kept half up here. So, whoa, I'm not sure what that's all about. Let's get rid of that. Come on. All right, we'll do it this way then. Well, I'm gonna put a line right here. So profit-wise, another 10, 11% maybe, and it can go higher, but that's where I see. And I doubt seriously I'll be in it. Even close to that line, I'm going to be out. Let's see. All righty. That's it. Ed, thank you very, very much. Okay, everyone. That's our line. That's our time to go home. Tomorrow's going to come early. It's bedtime for me. Maybe I'm the lightweight. Hey, I want to thank everybody, seriously. And I hope you all had a good weekend. I hope you have a great week next week. I will be out tomorrow. I won't even be online tomorrow. I will be back Tuesday, though. And we'll see everybody Tuesday. You guys all have a great week, and we'll see you on the other side, okay? Everyone, take care, and thank you.